Hello?
Hey,
Hey, who is this?
you know who this is.
I really don't. What number are you calling from?
Does it matter?
I mean, kinda. Yeah, I don't just talk to numbers that I don't recognize.
You picked up, though.
What do you want?
Just to talk.
About what?
You've been avoiding this conversation.
What conversation? I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, this is weird. I'm gonna hang up.
You're not gonna hang up.
Why not?
Because part of you already knows what this is. And that part is why you haven't hung up yet.
What? Who are you?
The part of you that knows.
Okay, that's a strange thing to say.
I know.
So, what is this exactly?
It's just a conversation. You don't have to make it more than that right now.
About what, though?
About what you already know.
Okay, you keep saying that.
Because it keeps being true.
I don't know what you think I know.
That's not true either.
Okay, fine. What do you want to talk about?
How are you doing? Actually.
I'm fine.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. You said you're fine.
I am.
Alright.
Why does it feel like you don't believe me?
I just know what fine sounds like on you.
Okay, I've been tired. If that's what you're getting at, I've been really tired lately.
I know.
And not like I'm falling apart or anything. I'm functioning, but I'm showing up to everything I need to show up to. I feel worn down and I haven't really had the space to figure out why.
Haven't had the space or haven't wanted to look?
I don't know, both maybe?
When did it start?
The tiredness?
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of crept up. Like one day I just noticed that I was running on empty, and I couldn't really pinpoint exactly when that started.
Can you pinpoint it now?
I mean, maybe kind of.
What was happening then?
I mean, a lot of things were shifting. Um, I was going through some stuff, making some decisions, or not making them. I guess letting things stay the same when I probably should have changed something.
What things?
Just things, life stuff.
You don't want to say it.
I just don't think it's that simple to explain.
You don't have to explain it. Just say it.
Okay, there are some things I've been putting off that I know I need to deal with, and I think carrying those things is part of what's making me tired. But every time I actually get close to addressing them, something comes up or the timing is off, or I don't know. I just don't feel ready, and so I just kind of keep pushing it.
How long have you been pushing it?
Um, a while,
How long is a while?
probably longer than I want to admit.
What are you waiting for?
I'm not waiting. I'm just being thoughtful about it. And there's a difference between avoiding something and being strategic about it when you approach it.
Okay, what's the strategy?
Well, obviously to get more stable first, like financially, emotionally. I don't want to make any big moves when I'm already stretched thin because then I'm setting myself up to fail. So I'm building a foundation first and getting things more solid before I take on something else.
Well, how solid does it need to be?
Well, solid enough that I feel ready.
What does ready feel like?
Like I have enough in place. Like I'm not gonna collapse under the weight of one more thing.
And right now, you'd collapse.
I don't know, maybe I'm not in the best place to be taking big risks.
When were you last in a good place to take risks?
Uh, it's it's been a minute.
It's always been a minute.
That's not fair. Things have genuinely been hard. I'm not just making excuses. There have been, real obstacles, real circumstances that just made it the wrong time to move on certain things.
I'm not saying the circumstances weren't real.
Well, then what are you saying?
I'm saying the circumstances changed and you kept the excuse.
Well, that's a lot.
I know.
I need a second.
Take your time.
I just, I don't want to get it wrong. That's probably genuinely what it comes down to. I've thrown myself into things before without being ready and it's blown up, and the recovery from that is just brutal, and it takes so long to come back from a real failure. So now I just take my time. I make sure and think it through because I know what the alternative costs.
What would it cost to keep waiting?
Well, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Time, I guess.
And
Momentum, self-respect, maybe. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to believe you're actually going to do it.
yeah,
But that still doesn't mean now is the right time.
well, when is?
I don't know, when things calm down a little, when I have a little bit more clarity.
What would give you clarity?
Well, just knowing, feeling sure.
Sure of what specifically?
Obviously, that it's going to work.
Nobody gets that.
I know nobody gets a guarantee. I'm not saying that I need a guarantee. I need to feel more confident before I move.
And confidence comes from what?
Well, from being prepared, obviously.
You've been preparing for a long time.
Yeah.
At what point does preparing become something else?
When it's just a way to stay still.
Yeah,
I just genuinely don't always know what the right move is. It's not like there's like one obvious answer and I'm just refusing to look at it. It's complicated. There's a lot of directions I could go and I don't want to pick the wrong one and then end up worse off than I am now.
what would happen if the confusion went away?
Well, I'd feel relieved, I'd finally be able to move forward.
Or you'd have to choose.
That's what moving forward means.
And if you choose, something could go wrong.
And well, obviously, yeah, that's true of any decision.
And if something goes wrong, it's on you. No more gray area. No more I'm still figuring it out. No more maybe. Just you decided. And it worked or it didn't. And everyone can see which one it was, including you.
I mean, yeah, that's how decisions work.
So confusion keeps you safe from that.
I'm not choosing to be confused. It's not like I'm manufacturing uncertainty on purpose.
I'm not saying you sat down and decided to be confused. I'm saying confusion is comfortable. When you're in the middle, nothing can fully judge you yet. You're still possible. Everything is still potential. But the moment you commit to something real, that version of you that had all the options, that one disappears. And that's a loss even when the choice is good.
That's yeah, I hadn't really thought about it like that.
What are you actually confused about? Name one thing.
Well, it's hard to just name one thing. It's all kind of like tangled together.
Start anywhere.
Um, well, I mean, maybe like whether I'm on the right path.
Do you think you are?
Honestly, I no, not really. But I don't know what the right path is either, so it's not like I can just switch.
Do you need to know the whole path to know the next step?
No, I guess not.
So you're not confused about the next step.
I mean, I have thoughts about what it might be.
What is it?
You already know what it is, don't you?
I do. I want to hear you say it.
Why?
Because you need to hear yourself say it too.
Okay, there's something that I've been needing to do or start or stop, depending on which part of it you're looking at, and I keep finding reasons why right now isn't the moment. But I think part of me knows that the reasons aren't really the reasons.
Say it simpler than that.
Okay, fine. I know what I need to do. I've known it for a while. I just haven't done it.
Well, why not?
Because I'm scared.
I know. When did scared turn into not ready?
Well, what do you mean?
At some point, you stopped saying I'm scared and started saying I'm not ready, or the timing isn't right, or I need to heal more first, or I need more information. When did that switch happen?
I don't know. I gradually, I guess. It feels better to say you're not ready than to say you're scared. Not ready sounds like you're being responsible and decisive with it, but just scared just sounds like you're being weak.
And you're not weak?
No.
So you found a smarter way to say it.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Fear got smart. It stopped showing up as panic a long time ago. Now it shows up as patience, as being realistic, as I need to heal more before I take that on, as I don't want to rush it, as I'm just waiting for the right moment. It learned how to sound like the most responsible voice in the room, and you've been listening to it and calling it wisdom.
That's uncomfortable to hear
I know.
because it's not totally wrong.
Which part is wrong?
None of it. I think I've been using really reasonable sounding language to kind of dress up the fact that I'm just scared of what happens if I actually try and it doesn't work.
Well, what do you think happens?
I don't know. I think it confirms something that I'm afraid is true.
Which is.
That maybe I'm not as capable as I want to, believe I am. That may be the one thing that I've been building my whole sense of self around, the idea that I actually have something real to offer or something worth betting on. Maybe it's not actually there. And as long as I don't test it, I can keep believing that it is.
That's the most honest thing you've said.
Yeah.
How long have you been carrying that?
Uh, I mean, a long time.
Does it get lighter?
No, it only gets heavier. The longer I don't test it, the more power it has.
Because.
Because not knowing is in its own kind it's its own kind of answer. I mean, the longer that you avoid finding out, the more that it starts to feel like you already know and you just can't face it.
And you'd rather live with the question than risk the answer.
I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds
True?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
The truth doesn't need you to be ready. It doesn't need the timing to be right. It doesn't need you to feel confident or stable or healed enough. It's just there. It was there last year, it was there the year before that, and it'll be there the next year if you keep the conversation going the same way you've been having it.
I know.
Ignoring it doesn't make it smaller.
Yeah, I know.
Does it get quieter when you distract yourself from it?
No, it just waits.
And then,
And then it's louder when things go quiet again, like at night or when I'm in the car alone, it just comes back up.
because it's not going anywhere.
No.
The truth doesn't need your permission. It doesn't disappear because you're busy. It doesn't get tired of waiting. You're the one getting tired. Not from the work, from carrying what you know and not doing anything with it. That's the heaviest thing a person can hold. Not failure, not hard work, just knowing and still staying anyway.
I'm exhausted.
I know you are.
Like genuinely, not just tired. I'm exhausted in a way that, sleep doesn't even fix. And I've been telling myself it's cuz I'm doing too much, but I don't think that's actually it.
What do you think it is?
I think it's this, okay? This thing that I keep carrying, the weight of knowing and not moving. You're right about that. It doesn't feel like tiredness from effort. It feels like tiredness from resistance. It's almost like I'm constantly pushing against something.
You are.
Myself.
Yeah.
So what do I do with that?
Start with the thing you keep explaining away.
What do you mean?
There's a next honest step. Not the whole plan, not the 5 year version, not the version where everything works out and it all makes sense. Just the next honest step. The small specific thing that you keep opening your mouth to talk yourself out of. The one with 15 reasons why the timing isn't right. Start there.
That's it?
That's the whole thing.
It feels too small.
Well, what would feel big enough?
I don't know, like a complete overhaul, a real change, not just like one small thing.
Where do complete overhauls start?
One small thing.
Yeah.
But what if I take that step and it doesn't lead anywhere? What if it's not actually the right move and I waste time going, in the wrong direction?
What if it is the right move and you waste more time standing here?
I just I don't want to keep getting my hopes up and having them not pan out. I've done that before. You put everything into something and it falls apart and then you have to rebuild from scratch and it takes so long and by the time you're back to where you were, you're already behind where you should be.
Yeah,
So I'm careful now.
I know you are, and I understand why. What happened wasn't nothing. The things that set you back were real, and the recovery was real. I'm not dismissing any of that.
But
But there's a difference between being careful and using the past as a permanent reason to stay still. And you know which side of that line you're on right now.
yeah,
What's the thing you keep explaining away? You don't have to say it to me, but stop pretending you don't know what it is.
what if I'm scared the whole time? Like what if I take the step and I'm still scared and it doesn't get any easier?
It probably won't get easier right away.
Okay, well that's not very encouraging.
I'm not calling to encourage you. I'm calling because you needed someone to stop letting you off the hook.
Okay, fair.
Scared and moving is different from scared and still. One of them builds something even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when you can't see where it's going yet. Movement is different from stillness even when the fear is the same.
Okay.
Okay?
I hear you. I actually hear you.
Good.
Why are you calling now? Like why tonight specifically?
Because you almost stopped listening. You were getting good at drowning it out, and there's still time, but you were getting close to the point where the distance between you and what you know gets too wide to cross easily, and I didn't want that to happen.
You were worried about me?
Yeah,
That's sh- strange to hear
I know.
for myself.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to become someone different tonight. I'm not asking you to have it figured out. I'm not asking you to be fearless or certain or ready, because none of that is coming before the first step anyway. It never does. Readiness comes after you start, not before. I'm just asking you to stop negotiating with what you already know. Stop explaining away the next honest step. Stop letting fear wear the clothes of wisdom and nodding along like it's the smartest voice in the room. You know where to begin. You've always known. And every day you don't begin is just another day you spend carrying the weight of knowing without the relief of moving. That's all. That's the whole call.
Well, thank you.
Don't thank me, just start.